On this episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive, I'm going to show you that you don't need expensive products or tools to get a good clean out of your engine bay. Alright guys, the purpose of this video is to show that we don't need professional products or tools to get a good clean out of an engine bay. You could do it for cheap with some simple products that are probably hanging around your house or that you can acquire very cheaply. So really the first thing that you're going to need is a degreaser. Obviously this is La Totally Orange, or La Totally Awesome Orange all-purpose degreaser. You know, I got this from the dollar store. I'm pretty sure this is just diluted or watered down simple green, and that's also something that you can do. You can get a degreaser and water it down like simple green. I'm pretty sure that's what this is already, and it's super cheap, so I use it on a lot of things. For dressing the engine bay when we're done and kind of protecting it in the future, I'll use a silicone spray. This is liquid wrench, but you could probably get away with like a lot of different products on that, but I had that one laying around. This looks like I pulled it from my shower, but it's actually a like detailing or cleaning brush for your car, and a variety of other brushes, toothbrush. And, you know, these are just paintbrushes I had laying around, but you'll need different size brushes to get in nooks and crannies to help agitate the degreaser, which I will show later. And then you'll also need spanners to remove engine bay covers, or you'll definitely want to disconnect the battery. That's always a good idea when you're working in the engine bay around electronics, and especially with water. I also have my trusty leaf blower, which I'm going to use later. You could also use compressed air or something like that to kind of help dry off the engine bay. But that's all the products that we're going to be using today. So let's dive right into cleaning the engine bay. So here's our dirty engine bay. This is an M45 Infinity. So it has a 4.5 liter V8. It's pretty cool. I've already taken off all the engine covers because I hate engine covers. And if you like engine covers, you're a weirdo and you should probably not watch this video. Obviously, if you have engine covers, you're going to want to take them off to clean them. Or you're probably not even going to clean your engine bay because you have engine covers, and what the hell's the point? So I already took them off this car and they're in the trash bin. But some things that you want to do for sure is protect the vital components. Obviously, engine bays are made to be made to get a little bit wet because people drive in the rain. But some of the things that you're going to want to remove, depending on the car, obviously this is going to be specific to every vehicle, is I'm going to want to like cover this air box because there's like a gap here, and if I start spraying water all over the place, I'm going to get water in the air box, and no engines like to ingest water. So I'm going to remove this sort of like ram air box, for lack of a better phrase, because it's got this intake right up front here, and hopefully it's just these two fasteners. Still going. Alright, finally. And yep, we'll just go ahead and drop that down in the engine bay that I'll never probably get. Okay, great. This can come out now. And as you can see, you can, if you look in there, you can see the air filter in there, and we don't want to get that wet. So I've got my trusty bags here. What I'm going to do is just kind of cover this like so, and I'll get a rubber band to put around that, and that'll be nice and secure. The other thing that you're going to want to do, if you can, like cover your alternator. The alternator in this car is down here, and there's really no way for me to cover that. It's going to get wet. But if it's up here and readily available, I'd recommend covering it. But the battery in this car is in this little tray. So remove this guy. And I'm just going to remove the negative battery terminal. It's always a good idea to do that if you are working in the engine bay wow, that came off really easy, so it leads me to believe that was loose to begin with. Awesome. So, but it's always a good idea to do that if you're working in the engine bay, especially with like something like water, that you can short out electrical components. So first thing to do is prep, cover anything, and remove the or disconnect the battery, and then we can start thinking about spraying down this engine bay. Now that we have our critical components, I'll say, mildly isolated, I'm going to go ahead and start spraying on this degreaser. Once again, this is more or less just diluted simple green, but it's from the dollar store, so it's super cheap. And you're just going to want to apply this liberally. You know, avoid electronics if you can. Like, I'm going to try and not hit this MAF, but, you know, things can get wet. You basically just want to be Bernie Sanders and just go nuts applying this liberally all over the engine bay. It's also worth mentioning that I'm doing this on a cold engine. You definitely don't want to do this on a warm engine, because you will spray this degreaser on and it will dry instantly and be a real pain to remove, and it's not going to be effective at all. Alright, so sprayed that stuff on. I'm just going to take this brush, first brush I have, and just start agitating that degreaser kind of all over everything. And what this is going to do, just help the degreaser work, and just let it do its job. And this is the part where I will cut too much later, because this will take forever. Alright, so I've just done a couple rounds of hitting it with the degreaser, agitating it with some brushes, and now I'm just doing the final spray down to make sure I get all that degreaser off. I definitely don't want to leave any degreaser left on there. It'll leave nasty marks, and pretty sure it's not good for aluminum and stuff like that. So definitely give her a good solid spray down and rinse all that crap off. Now we have to dry off the engine bay, so I'm going to use this leaf blower, just because I will use any excuse to use power tools. You could also use compressed air if you have a compressor, or if you're a super nerd and you have like canned air from your PC build, you could use that too. So after taking this thing for a drive to get rid of all the water that was in the engine bay after we cleaned it, I've just let it sit for a while and cool off, because it was really warm after the drive and worked good for removing all the water from the engine bay, but it was almost too warm to even work with. So it's cooled off now, and now we're going to proceed to our last chore of the day here for cleaning this engine bay. So already, guys, like, it clearly looks way better than when we started. Obviously all the grime and grit is mostly gone, and now, you know, it just kind of looks dull in different areas, and that's where this silicone spray is going to come in handy. It's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to make things look a lot better, and number two, it's going to help protect these surfaces in the future better than, say, like WD-40, which is just going to go on and kind of attract more dirt and stuff like that. So I'm just going to shake this up, and this bottle is on its last leg, so I'm going to get some more. I had to go and get a different bottle, or a different can. My last one ran out, but as you can see, this one goes on way easier. But just apply it everywhere, man. Like, honestly, this stuff isn't going to hurt anything. It's made to go in rubber, plastics, metal, pretty much anything, and it just makes everything look better. Right now it looks super wet, but what you're going to do is just go back with your rag and just take off the excess. and just look, I mean, look at the finished product, just looks so good. Personally, that shine product from Gunk, the shining, the engine shine, I think it just looks artificial, really, and it's too glossy, whereas the silicone gives you like a nice matte finish. So once you go back and really wipe everything down, it just looks so much better. I mean, I'm getting excited. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm getting excited. All right, so here's the final product. This is after obviously degreasing and then spraying that silicone spray and wiping off all the excess. I think you guys will agree it looks significantly better. Something that you could roll up to the car show, pop your engine bay, and not be totally ashamed of like I was before I started this. But you know, just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to spend a lot of money or have specialty tools to make a big difference on this stuff. But I mean, you can see even these hoses, you know, hopefully I got good shots of before and after, but they look significantly better. You know, they're basically like rehydrated with that silicone, and that silicone's gonna, you know, prevent moisture from getting in the hoses and just kind of protect them for a while to come. So it's really kind of two wins there. You're both protecting and cleaning at the same time, so it looks a lot better and it's gonna last. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We have plenty of other videos, how-tos, and other hooning of general vehicles. So yeah, keep watching, and we'll see you guys next time.